To Meserve Field in Bowling Green, Ohio, where the Bowling Green Falcons are set to take on the Akron Zips in Game 2 of the doubleheader today. Bowling Green able to take the win there in the first game, just at the end there by a RBI double from Maddie McCoy to bring home Michaela Dees, the pinch runner at the bottom of the sixth. Of course, Falcons getting the win 1-0 as they head in to this second game. We saw Hannah Davies continue to pitch the entire game. Had a couple little struggles there throughout around the middle there, about fifth inning. Able to pull it back in the sixth and seventh, and just 1, 2, 3 innings there and pulled them down. Allowed 4 hits from the Zips. Of course, nothing able to really go on that. The farthest we saw a Zip player make it was about second base, where they were left stranded. Couple doubles from the Zips. Of course, we saw a lot of speed and aggression out, especially from number 6, the left fielder, Mackie McChesney. Expecting to see a lot out of her again today for the Zips for the second game, as well as over on the Falcons side. Maddie McCoy, like we said, getting that RBI at the end, as well as Greta Lesperance, player who was able to steal her way around the diamond off of a walk at the beginning, makes it all the way to home plate, just barely tagged as she crosses the plate. So, of course, those two players, a lot of speed and aggression on the offense, going to see a lot out of them. But, of course, on that defensive side, you got to talk about Nikki Sorgi. In the fourth inning, able to get a streaking, diving catch there in left field, just barely able to grab a hold of it, able to retire the inning for the Falcons off of a awkward hit from Tegan Rice. So, of course, over on the Akron side, we saw Olivia Stefanoni going once again for the entire inning as well, looking still for those starting lineups. Unknown who will be starting pitching for either side, but we will get those lineups to you once we receive them. So, of course, this is that pregame show brought to you by the WBGU PBS. So that will do it, though, as we get ready to head into Game 2 of the Saturday doubleheader right here on WBGU.
in your mouth. Come on. Bring them out, bring them out, hey. Bring them out, bring them out, yeah. Bring them out, bring them out, hey. Bring them out, bring them out. VIP coming live from the VIP. Heard the nightlife, cross right, what that mean? Most of the days in the state wanna see me. The whole city got pissed. Heard me that me. That other rapper got a hit, but y'all hear that now. Push a button and make a move on the leg down. I'm on the road doing shows through my Mac down. Mississippi to Philly, have a curve on Jacktown. Crowd yelling, bring them out, hey. I'm a hot girl selling, bring them out, hey. All the dope boys selling, bring them out, hey. Some rapper wanted to live, I got rich and I still and I wanna get good. You be rapping by flow, I was moving the bridge. Talk about shooting at and I was doing the bridge. If I hit you in the face, you gon' be suing me quick. Another case, I know it's true to be missed, so I'ma keep a cool head, stay out of the news headlines. The show is up, rappers bedtime. Still see that I'm a hell of a time. I caught the throw out hard, top the railroad to shine. They got some time, they ain't nothing like a devil with time. Who got a flow and a line show better than mine? I got a packed house yelling, bring them out, hey. I'm a hot girl selling, bring them out, hey. All the dope boys selling, bring them out, hey. What the back day yelling, bring them out, hey. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. You wanna beef with the king? What is you gon' do? When you show up on the scene, 1 2 guns duel. You and your friend play a little 2 on 2. If you a NYU mutant hitting the deck, I got a tool and a vest, I can take respect. I'ma make it hard or another something to flex. Show them this ain't a squad or something to test. Well, my too large and we way too fresh. Work well when check a lane like a game of chess. You wanna be better, bring your best. We be standing in your front yard yelling, bring them out, hey. All my hot girls yelling, bring them out, hey. All the dope boys yelling, bring them out, hey. What the back day yelling, bring them out, hey. Front yard yelling, bring them out, hey. All my hot girls yelling, bring them out, hey. All the dope boys yelling, bring them out, hey. What the back day yelling, bring them out, hey.
Here then are the starting lineup for game number 2. First for the Zips, leading off and playing in right field will be number 6, Molly McChesney. Batting second, the center fielder, number 33, Matthew Mitchner. Batting third, playing second base, is number 2, Madison Dudak. And the designated player batting fourth, number 24, Laurel DeVoe. Batting fifth and playing first base is number 22, Tegan Rice. Anna Aquino will bat sixth and play second base, number 20. Batting 7th, the left fielder, number 16, Carly Auten. Batting 8th, the shortstop, number 14, Sam Malik. Name batting 9th and catching number 28, Caitlin Reynolds. And the starting pitcher this afternoon in game number 2 for Akron is number 21, Alex DeFeo. Starting lineup for the Falcons in game number 2, leading off, playing center field, will be number 15, Greta Lesperance. Batting second, playing second base, is number 7, Sammy Gee. Batting third, the shortstop, number 20, Maddie McCoy. And batting fourth, the designated player, number 30, Evelyn Loyola. Logan Everett will catch and will bat 6. Peyton McKeon moves up to the 6th slot and plays right field. Alex Sorgi will be moving over to first base, number 00, batting 7th. Sarah Gonzalez, number 13, will play third base. And playing in left field, number 3, Marley McNulty, and she'll bat 9. And the starting pitcher this afternoon in game number 2 for the Falcons is number 16, Carly Vanetta.
Welcome back to Meserve Field in Bowling Green, Ohio, as your BGSU Falcons are taking on the Zips from Akron. Couple little changes here for the lineup for the Falcons, as catching now will be number 22, Laurel Everett, and pitching number 16, Harley Vanetter. So we get set up with number 6, the leadoff hitter for the Akron Zips, Molly McChesney. One of those power hitters and a lot of speed we saw from the first game. Tries to go for a bunt, just a little too much though. Just barely missing that one. So here comes the second pitch. Same spot, ball number 2 off that right corner. Of course, new pitchers have to find the new batting box. So trying that right side once again. This time goes straight down the center. Gonna get strike number 1. So McChesney still looking for the pitch she likes as we get set up once again. Sends it down, finds it. Gonna be called foul just barely. So it goes down the third baseline. Looked like it could have gone either way, but decides to be 2-2. So McChesney gonna step back, take a couple practice swings. As she resets. Still trying to find that left barrier. Ball 3, full count. Wind up set where she wanted it. Just a little late though. Sends it off to the right side. Foul territory. Continues to be full count. Sends it down, straight down the center once again. Sends it out to that left side. So, of course, Venetter having a very different pitching style than what we saw from Hannah Davies earlier today. A little bit of a faster pitch as she tries to send it once again down the center. Gets set up. Sends it off that left side, just catches the bat, but there's the first baseman. Nikki Sorgi, who we saw playing in left field last game, able to grab that one.
Now batting is the center fielder number 33, Mackie Mitchner.
So Mackie Mitchner gonna step up, takes her shot at bat for the first time in this game. Of course, we saw her about 3 times in the last game. Able to get one double and a single, but unable to do anything with it as first ball comes in. Ball number 1 in the ground. Straight down once again, same spot, ball 2. Tries a little bit of a different approach, tries to send it up just a little bit, but goes too high. Ball 3. 3-0, 1 out. And that one off to the left side. Gonna give a nice walk over to Mitchner. Not exactly what you want if you're the Falcons right off the bat, but you do with it what you can as we move forward with number 2, Maddie Dudek. Sends it up, tries to get an off-speed changeup, just going to go right up and over into the hands of shortstop Maddie McCoy. Out number 2, runner still on first.
Next up is the designated player number 24, Laurel DeVoe.
24, Laurel DeVoe steps up. Tries to get a slider to go, sends it just outside that right side. Ball 1. Same thing on the second pitch. 2-0, 2 outs. Right down the center, gonna get the strike. 2-1. There, that one comes. Well, that one gonna be called a ball. Just barely outside on that left side. 3-1. And she walks the second as well, as now we have runners on first and second and scoring position.
Now batting is the first baseman number 22, Tegan Rice.
So 22, Tegan Rice gonna step up, take her hand at it. Of course, it is a little bit of a chillier day today. Around 48 degrees outside right now with high winds from the southwest. So, of course, pitcher's going to have to work a little bit harder to warm up those muscles as she sends it right on down. Tegan Rice going to hit it right into left field, picked up by McNulty. So, Falcons get lucky with a catch by McNulty and head into the bottom of the first, tied up at 0. We'll be right back on WBGU. Welcome back to Meserve Field in Bowling Green, Ohio, where the BGSU Falcons are taking on the Zips from Akron. Stepping up to lead us off here, number 15, Greta Lesperance. And just watching the warm-ups from pitcher number 21, Alexa Divio. I mean, she's got a cannon on those sliders, and it'll be interesting to see how the Falcons are able to respond to this. Sends it up. Pitcher's having a little trouble on that left side there. Ball 1. Second one tries to get the bunt, but with the swing and a miss, gonna be strike 1. Sets up for the second one, straight down the center, strike 2. Lesperance last game in the first inning, able to get the walk onto the bases, and able to steal all the way to third, where she was then tagged out at home plate. That sound you just heard was the ball bouncing off the side of where we are sitting and rolling all the way down those stairs. So we get set up for the next pitch just outside, 2-2. Sends it up, curves just inside. A little bit of a floater there, right into the hands of shortstop number 14, Malik. So out number 1 for the Falcons, as going in number 7, Sammy Dees.
Now batting for the Falcons, here's second baseman number 7, Sammy Dees.
Sets up, curves just out to that right side though. Ball 1. Trying her hand at that one, sends it way out into that right corner over into the fans who have brought their camping chairs to sit out on the field. Go ahead, and lucky person gets a nice softball souvenir from the Falcons. 1-1 is the count. Sends it up this time, sending it the other way, goes right into left field, gonna get a single on that. Thinks about second, decides against it, as she'll be stopped by number 20, Anna Aquino. Just a good move there by Sammy Dees. Like we said, one of those faster, aggressive, offensive players. As following her up, number 20, Maddie McCoy. McCoy, of course, the player able to get that double to win the game for the Falcons last game. Hoping to do something similar here early on in this one. Strike one called. Sends it down, awkward curve, but gonna be a fielding error. Gives her the ability to get to second off of an out from Sammy Dees. So, lone player at second in scoring position.
Next up, it's designated player number 30, Evelyn Loyola.
Number 30, Evelyn Loyola stepping up. Our catcher from last game, now designated player. Straight down the center, gets a little bit of a curve and breaks at the plate. Strike one. Sends it up and back into that same spot that we just saw from Maddie McCoy. Now another lucky fan gonna get the softball. 0-2, 2 outs. Runner in scoring position. Sends it down, curves out to that right side. Gonna land in foul territory, just keeps it inside the stadium though, as it gets a lucky bounce off the fence.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's only one.
And DeFeo really liking those sliders. It tries to send another one. Loyola able to find it. Sends it once again into that right side. Foul. 0-2 is the count. 2 outs. Runner on second. Sends it straight down. This time Loyola able to get it into the outfield, just missing second baseman, and will get a RBI double to bring Maddie McCoy home. Falcons lead in the first inning, 1-0. So now moving up, number 22, Laurel Everett, the catcher.
Falcons is catcher number 22, Logan Everett.
Catches her swinging. 0-1. This time way outside there. Kind of a wild pitch. 1-1. You could blame that on the wind. Very strong winds, about 22 miles an hour at this point, coming from the southwest. Sends it down, catches her swinging again. Fastball right down the center, just under the bat. just outside off that right corner. Gets the call. Count 2-2. Catches her swinging as well, retire the side. Moving into the second inning, the Falcons lead the Zips 1-0. We'll be right back on WBGU.
Hey, yo. You ready? Let's do it.
Welcome back to Meserve Field in Bowling Green, Ohio, where the BGSU Falcons are taking on the Zips from Akron. Currently at the top of the second, the Falcons lead 1-0 as number 20, Alexa Acunio, comes up to bat.
Leading off for Akron in the top of the second, here's second baseman number 20, Anna Aquino.
Sends it up and just outside, ball one. Still trying to figure out that right side barrier, or sorry, left side barrier. So right side last game, left side this time. Sends it even further outside, not exactly the way you want to go. 2-0. When she was warming up, we did see a lot of those four-seam fastballs. Seems like she's trying to get a little bit of a curve in there. Just putting it a little bit too far out, though. There's number 3. Or actually, number 1, 2-1. Called the check swing. Sends it right down the middle. There's 2-1 is the call. Sends it down and gonna punch that one out. So, 1, 2, 3, you're gone. First out of the second inning as number 16, Carly Otten comes up to bat. Little bit low, so ball one. And the pitch, right where you'd want it, strike one. Very nice four-seam from Venator. Sets it a little high, but that's where she likes it. She tries to get a single. Can't make it in time, though. Going to be stepped out by Sorgi out number 2. So coming in now, number 14, Sam Mullick.
Now batting is the shortstop, number 14, Sam Malik.
Sends it just a little off. 1-0. Sets it down just inside. That is deep down in the left field. But there's McNulty to make the catch. And we retire the side at the going into the bottom of the second. The Falcons still lead 1-0. We'll be right back on WBGU. Welcome back to Meserve Field as we move into the bottom of the second. Currently, the Falcons lead 1-0 over the Akron Zips. Currently up to bat number 2, Peyton Ham. Right down that right corner. Picks up strike number 1. Peyton Ham, of course, in the last game, getting the single to set up Michaela Dees for the winning run. Swings and misses. There's strike number 2. Sends it out, foul tip, just barely missing the golf cart behind the dugout. DeFeo still trying to go with that four-seamer, using the speed to her advantage. Just off a little bit with her accuracy there, trying to get a curve to go her way, ends up grounding down. Sends it just outside that left side, back in the dirt, 2-2. Another foul tip there, right into the pole off of the left shoulder of catcher Caitlin Reynolds. Sends it straight down the middle. Pop fly going to be caught by the shortstop, number 14, Mullick. So out number 1. As we move forward, number 0, Nikki Sorgi, going to come up for her at bat. Takes a couple swings just outside.
Next up for the Falcons is first baseman number 00, Nikki Sorgi.
Of course, Nikki Sorgi, the player we saw in left field last game, doing a lot of good work there. Works now up at first base. Line drive right on down. Missed the hand of the second baseman, Aquino. Gets to first. So we move forward once again. Number 13, Sarah Gonzalez.
Next up for the Falcons, here's third baseman number 13, Sarah Gonzalez.
Bounce pass right into the hands of the second baseman. Almost getting a double play, but throw not in time, as Gonzalez makes it to first base just before Rice closes down on the ball. Two outs now, as number 3,
Next up for the Falcons, it's left fielder number 3,
Marley McNulty, comes up from left field. Tries to set it up a little bit there. Just a little bit late, though. Gets the tip of the bat. 0-1. Sends it straight down, but there's the second baseman. Just going to throw it right over to 22, Tegan Rice, to end the top of the second. We move into, bottom of the second. We move into the third inning with the Falcons still leading 1-0. We'll be right back on WBGU. Welcome back to Meserve Field in Bowling Green, Ohio, where the BGSU Falcons are taking on the Zips from Akron. Currently, the Falcons lead 1-0 off of an RBI single from Loyola in the first inning. Top of the third, as moving up for the Zips, Caitlin Reynolds. And the pitch trying that left side once again, going to get called ball 1. This game, ref having a very strict left barrier. Have to be a little bit more careful with those left side balls. Sends it over, tipped though, just a little bit of an early hit there, sent into the BGSU dugout. 1-1. Tries to get it down the center, but it ends up grounding. 2-1 now. Still trying to get that awkward curve to work in her favor. Goes out the right corner, 3-1. Once again, curve not going her way, too high once it hits the plate. Gets the walk for Reynolds. So we move back to the top of the batting order with number 6, Maddie McChesney. There seems to be a problem from the head coach of the Zips. She calls Molly McChesney over. Umpire comes over to see what the problem is. They were trying to get their pinch runner in. That will be number 11, Morgan Cadmus. So with that adjustment, we will be back underway.
Morgan Cadmus. Now batting for the Zips, the right fielder number
Runner
6, Molly McChesney.
Runner on first as Chesney now gets set up. Right back on that right side, ball 1. Set up that right side once again. You could see Cadmus thinking about stealing, decides against it, count 1-1. Another seeming to find that left barrier finally gets another strike called. 1-2 now. Just barely getting a hit off of that. Can't get anything to go. Throw not in time to Sorgi. Both runners safe at first and second. So now you have scoring position as number 33, Mackie Mitchner, comes up to bat.
Next up here, center fielder number 33, Mackie Mitchner.
Just a little high. Ball 1. So she'll reset. Try once again. Tries to get a slider going. Not enough curve on it though. Just tipped by Mitchner. Sent off to the left side. 1-1. Straight down the center, also getting called on that check. 1-2. Time called by, I believe, third baseman, number 13, Sarah Gonzalez. As that one sent straight down deep into left field. But once again, there's McNulty able to move forward. It looked like she was going for a sacrifice fly there, but no movement from number 11, Cadmus.
Next up, it's the second baseman, number 2, Madison Dudek.
As number 2, Madison Dudek, comes up to bat. Straight on down the center, catches the bat as it'll go just off that right side. Right on over the head of third base coach. Like we said earlier, Natter, using more speed on her pitches than what we saw in the previous game, as we see another two-seamer try to go down. Gets a little low, though. 1-1. Pop fly down into left field. That one once again caught by McNulty. 2 outs now. Runners still on second and first.
Now batting is the first baseman, number 22, Tegan Rice.
So Tegan Rice gonna step up. Sends it a little high, but curves back down. They're going to call strike on that one. That one going into the corner. Going to be called ball. 1-1. 2 outs. Runners on second and first. Caught her swinging on that. 2 strikes. Sends it just low. 2-2 is the count. Sends it a little high, but going to be tipped off the top of the bat. Straight back over the head of the umpire. Stays 2-2. There's another tip going way up into the sky. Out of view. Once again, tipped off to that right side. So DeVoe trying to find that power level from the pitcher. That one way up. Full count. Still 2 outs. Runners on second and first. And with that 4th ball, that is going to load up the bases as number 22, Tegan Rice, going to come up to bat.
Now batting is the first baseman, number 22, Tegan Rice.
So this is where that mentality in this game really comes to a head with bases loaded around you. Gotta strike this pitcher out, or this batter out. Instead, gonna get a pop fly out to left field, relying on McNulty once again. She responds by taking that one. And 3rd out will retire the side. Going into the bottom of the 3rd, the Falcons still able to lead 1-0. We'll be right back here on WBGU. Welcome back to Meserve Field in Bowling Green, Ohio, where the BGSU Falcons are taking on the Zips from Akron. We go back to the top of the batting order as number 15, Greta Lesbrance, comes into this game. So from center field, like we said, this pitcher, number 21, Alexa DeFeo. Very strong arm there as we move forward. Set up, there's the pitch. High, but the 3rd baseman awkwardly set up real close to home plate, goes right over her hand into outfield, and gonna get awarded the single. Last time Lesperance was on first base, was the first inning of last game where she stole her way around the diamond, just barely getting tagged out at home plate. As number 7, Sammy Dees, steps up. Sends it straight up into an empty spot in center field. Bounces off the back fence, gets the double RBI, and will bring Greta Lesperance home and sets her up in scoring position. Falcons now lead 2-0. So this is going to have head coach have a quick chat with the pitcher. We will possibly see a sub out of this pitcher as well. Little bit of confusion there by the pitcher. Looks like they are going to send her into the dugout, get a new pitcher going. So we'll take a break and be right back here on WBGU.
Now pitching for Akron, number 27, Sheridan Wilbur.
Welcome back to Meserve Field here in Bowling Green, Ohio, where the Bowling Green Falcons are taking on the Akron Zips. Currently, the Falcons lead 2-0 as we get a sub out for the pitcher coming in, number 27, Sheridan Wilbur. So, Maddie McCoy going to step up to bat with a runner in scoring position. Awkward bounce off the pitch, ball number 1. Gets set up for the second. There's the pitch. Catcher losing control of it. Gonna get a clean steal from Dees to third. "2-0 is the count, no outs. Falcons lead by 2. As line drive right into the hands of the shortstop. Malik sends it right back over to first base, who was subbed out, number 17, Lauren Holdsworth. So that'll be out number 1 as Evelyn Loyola comes up to try her hand at it. There's the pitch, a high curve as they're trying to steal home, decides against it, almost gets caught up, able to slide back to third. And Sammy D is able to stay safe at third base. One and 0. And there's a deep throw. Falls foul, but caught. So second out, but Sammy D's going to make it home. Scores another for the Falcons, 3-0.
Next up for the Falcons, it's catcher number 22, Logan Everett.
Number 22, Logan Everett, coming up. Last time at bat, she was struck out. 2 outs. She gets one pretty close on that right side. Going to be called fair. Strike number 1. Low pitch bouncing around the ground a little bit. 1-1 now. And we're going to see the head coach come out to the mound, have a quick talk with Sheridan Wilbur. Now what you got to be careful about, new pitcher comes in. You allow another hit and a run. So going to start looking at it just a little bit. Sent it down, but high. 2-1. Getting a rising curve there. Unfortunately, just getting that rise a little bit too early. Tries instead for a two-seam. Gets the tip, though, of Everett's bat. 2-2 is the count. Sends it straight down, just line drive, shortstop. Gets it right back in to number 17, first baseman, Lauren Holdsworth. That will retire the side at the bottom of the third. Moving into the fourth inning, the Falcons lead 2-0. Welcome back to Meserve Field here in Bowling Green, Ohio, where the Falcons are taking on the Zips from Akron. Currently at the top of the fourth, the Falcons lead 3-0 over the Zips. First pitch comes in, foul just off the bottom. Number 26, Hannah Gartrell, is batting. Sends it down third base line, just barely shifts over, and foul. 1-1. Sets it straight down the center. Caught on the fly is the shortstop. Number 20, Maddie McCoy, awarded without number 1 of the 4th inning. So now stepping up to bat, number 16, Carly Otten.
This is Carly Ott.
Sends it down and way off to the right side there. Ball 1. Sends it down into the ground. 2-0. Tipped straight on back. 2-1 is the count. And so as you move into this fourth inning, one thing you do have to start thinking about with the way that Finader is pitching, could be getting tired early. And fighting this wind, sends it down straight. It's going to shift off that right side, once again going out on a foul tip. 2-2. 1 out in the top of the 4th. Sends it up top, full count. We can see Sydney Stepp warming up over in the bullpen. Possibility here of her coming in possibly the next inning. Sends it down just barely outside. Gonna be a walk for her.
Shortstop 14, Sam Malik.
So Sam Malik, number 14, gonna come up now. Try her hand at it. That one, once again, a little high. 1-0. Sets it up. Just tipped right off the right shoulder of the catcher, Everett. So she'll take a step back, take a couple swings, and moves back up. Caught her swing and just goes right on over the bat. 1-2. Two just outside on that right side. As we can see, definitely her pitch, Venator's pitch is really slowing down here. Trying to get something going. Switches up to a changeup and gets her out. So 2 outs now, runner on first as number 28, Caitlin Reynolds, the catcher, going to come up and see if she can get some points on the board. Sends it deep into left, just barely called fair. Going to be awarded the single. McNulty just out of reach there, had to run for it. Able to get it very quickly up to third baseman Sarah Gonzalez and stop the play. So now we do have a runner for the Zips in scoring position. As number 13 comes up, Sydney.
Now batting, pinch hitting. This is number 13, Sydney Jaska.
Sydney Jasko coming up to hit as the pinch hitter. Sends it straight down the center. Strike one. Same spot once again. Gets him on 2. Tries to send it straight down. Going to be tipped up. Sarah Gonzalez trying to run for it, but gets stopped by a fence. So it'll just be counted as a foul tip. 0-2. So she'll try once again. Sets up, sends it down, catches her swing, and she's out of there. That will retire the side. So moving into the bottom of the 4th, the Falcons lead 3-0.
Going to the bottom of the 4th, it's still Bowling Green 3 and Akron 0.
Welcome back to Meserve Field in Bowling Green, Ohio, as your BGSU Falcons take on the Zips from Akron. Currently, the Falcons lead 3-0 at the bottom of the fourth. Quick sub in for the Zips as catcher number 24, Laurel DeVoe, gonna go ahead and step in.
Leading off for the Falcons in the bottom of the fourth, here's right fielder number 2, Peyton Ham.
Number 2, Peyton Ham, steps up. And one just off that left side. Going to be called inside, though. 0-1. Just tipped right into left field, but off of a fielder error, that one going to be counted as a single. Just out of an error from Carly Auden, just dropping it there, gets the first base awarded to Peyton Ham. So this will prompt the catcher once again to have a quick chat with her pitcher. Possibility with somebody like Peyton Ham on first. Head coach Megan Bettapiece might be looking into getting a new pitcher, as we're going to get a new left fielder coming in, number 4, Shelby Fortune.
Now playing left field for Akron is number 4, Shelby Fortune.
So we get set up once again as Nikki Sorgi comes in to take her shot at bat. Sorgi being awarded 1 hit for the 1 time that she's seen the plate today. There's the pitch. But there's the ball. So ball 1. Strike 1, sorry. She gets set once again. Tries to go for the bunt. Can't get it to go, though. As we go 2-0. Tries once again, this time stays with the ball. Throwing it real low, 3-0. And there's ball number 4, possible intentional walk there for Nikki Sorgi. Of course, you're a power hitter, you don't want any extra bases from her, but of course now run the risk of a runner on first and second as number 13, Sarah Gonzalez, comes in.
Next up for the Falcons, it's third baseman number 13, Sarah Gonzalez.
Low and to the left, ball 1. So this is going to once again prompt the catcher to come out and talk with the pitcher. Especially you've got 1 runner in scoring position. Of course, catcher probably seeing a little bit stressed out is the pitcher. Goes up there to say, you know, calm down. We'll get through this. Let's set it up. And just got to get 3 of them out. And we can call it a day. Sets it up once again, a little high though. Strike 1. 1-1. Sends it straight down the middle. Moves off just a little low, though. Ball 2. Gets the bunt. Sacrifice bunt as she's able to get them to third and second. Just the way it's written up by the head coach. And that's exactly what you want to do if you're Sarah Gonzalez. Not really a power hitter for the Falcons. Able to get some good moves there. So, you know what? You sacrifice the out and the ability to get more points later in this inning. As we see,
Pitch hitting for the Falcons is number 21, Emma Miller.
number 21, Emma Miller, as the pinch hitter for the Falcons. 1 out right now. As they get set up. There's the pitch right down the center. Strike 1. Good force seam there. So that ball had no movement. Same idea that time, though Miller able to grab just a little bit of it. Sends it out to the right side. 0-2. Sends it foul just down the first base line. Stays 0-2. Trying to get a handle of this fastball. Of course, Wilbur having a very harsh fastball. So, tries once again. Gets a little bit more on it, but sends it the wrong way. Foul tipped right on back. Falcons are giving out these softballs like lollipops. As another fan will go away with softball if they find it outside of the stadium. Straight on back deep into right field, but gonna be called out at the last second. So we go right on back 0-2. 1 out, runner on third and second. But you know what? I heard a "I don't give a darn" from the third baseman. Deep pop fly into right field, caught up by the right fielder as Padenham trying to run in to get the slide and the point at home. Not able to get it to go, though. Will get tagged out just at home plate. And that will end the 4th inning. Falcons still lead 3-0. We'll be right back on WBGU. Welcome back to Meserve Field here in Bowling Green, Ohio, where the Bowling Green Falcons take on the Zips from Akron. Currently, the Falcons lead 3-0 over the Akron Zips as number 33, Mackie Mitchner, comes up to bat.
In the leadoff for Akron in the top of the fifth, here's the center fielder number 33, Mackie Mitchner.
This will be her second time seeing the plate. Earlier, getting a walk in the second inning. Strike one. Right on down that right side. She's going to step back, take a couple swings, gets set back up. She goes again. Tries a little bit farther outside. That time they're going to say, no way, Jose. 1-1. Sends it up high. Ball 2. 2-1, and I mean, the stuff on that left barrier, I mean, you can call it that the pitcher's still trying to find that barrier, but by this point in the fifth inning, you kind of need to know where that is. So she sends it down again. Once again, having trouble on that left barrier. 3-1. And she's going to walk him. So Mitchner once again getting walked. We'll see first base.
Now batting is the second baseman, number 2, Madison Dudek.
So number 2, Madison Dudek coming up now. Not exactly what you want if you're the Falcons, but you get another shot here. This pitch comes straight down, just down the center. Strike 1. Squeeze bunt off to the left side. Forces the out, but gets Mitchner into scoring position. So with the sacrifice squeeze, you see now 33 move forward. And we'll see Laurel DeVoe come in.
Catcher number 24, Laurel DeVoe.
So gets it set up, sends it out on that right barrier. Just a little low though. Ball 1. They still do have Sydney Stepp in the bullpen warming up. Is way up in there. Ball 2. Of course, Venator, like I said earlier, kind of working off of a little bit tired. Can't really get those fastballs where she wants them, so tries some different curves and sliders. Just can't get them to land the way she wants. That's deep back there on right field, but there's the right fielder able to just grab a hold of it. That was Peyton Ham. Sends it back. No movement from Mitchner. She'll stay at second. 2 outs. And really, that's what I was talking about in that first game, when you got to have a good pitcher to be able to rely on your fielders and your players behind you just a little bit. That's exactly what Venator did there, just relying on Peyton Ham to be there. So sends it down, straight line drive, just shifts outside that third base line. Foul tip. 0-1. So Lauren Holdsworth going for the setup. Swing and miss, 0-2. And struck her out swinging on that one. We end the top of the 5th, moving into the bottom. 3-0, Falcons lead.
And Akron 0.
Welcome to Meserve Field here in Bowling Green, Ohio, as your BGSU Falcons take on the Zips from Akron. Currently at the bottom of the 5th, BG leads 3-0. We move back to the top of the batting order with number 15, Greta L'Esperance. Akron, of course, struggling through the defensive side of last inning. Able to pull away just barely, missing out on and 8 points from the Falcons with a lucky double play at the end. First pitch comes in with ball number 1. It's set up again. Strike 1 straight down the center. And that one just outside. So he gets set up, sends it down. And they're going to call strike 3 on that one. Out number 1 for the Falcons.
Now batting for Bowling Green here.
Just keeping inside on that left corner there. Trying to get the Falcons to reach a little bit. And just able to hold it inside as we move forward in the lineup. Number 7, Sammy Dees, who of course had the RBI earlier today, 2 hits and a run. Walks up, takes a strike. Wilbur seems to be more energized here as it's thrown right back to her, but she's going to drop it. Still has enough time, though, to get it out to first baseman. Lauren Holdsworth. That's a painful shot getting that forearm, but you still get the out. So 2 outs as Maddie McCoy moves up to take a bat. Just a little high. Ball 1. Sets up, goes down, gets a line drive just over the shortstop's shoulder. Gets a nice single from Maddie McCoy. As we saw it go over the shoulder of number 14, Sam Mullick almost took her out off that shoulder there. Able to just get out of the way. And now, number 30, Evelyn Loyola, coming back up to try to take her shot at something. Of course, getting two RBIs earlier today off a double play she was able, or double hitter she was able to make. Ball 1. Just almost hitting the foot of Loyola. She gets set up once again, sends it down, straight down the center. Loyola gonna get there, but missed shot there by number 19, Jaden Bryant. That's gonna cause another error. So now you got runners on second and first, runner in scoring position as number 22, Logan Everett, the catcher, moves up. 2 outs. First pitch, Swan straight down, gonna get sent into center field. She's gonna get a double awarded with an RBI as number 20, Maddie McCoy, comes home. Falcons now lead 4-0. Runners still on first and second. As now number 2, Peyton Ham, gonna come up once again to try and have her luck. Looks like a pinch runner gonna come in for Everett. That'll be number 10, Peyton Dolis. As well as a new pitcher for the Zips, number 3, Lexi Petrov. So she'll take a couple warm-up swings as we get set up. Wilbur seemed to have a little bit of energy back at the end there. Fortunately, those fastballs straight down the center, not gonna cut it against these Falcons, as we saw in the last game with Stefanoni, who had to switch up to the changeups and the curves to hold the Falcons at 1. So Petrov will now try her luck here as number 2, Peyton Ham, comes up to bat.
Right fielder number 2, Peyton Ham.
Just barely outside off that left side. 1-0. Sends it right on down. Strike 1. Slight curve there on it as it kind of went just around the plate there to get that first strike. Goes for the same thing, but can't hold on to it. Ball 2 And both runners advance. Count 2-1, 2 outs. Falcons lead by 4. Straight into the hands of the pitcher, and that's going to be out number 3. As we saw, Peyton Dolis kind of trying to race against the throw to first to try to get into home plate first. Unable to, though, so we'll end the 5th. 4-0 in favor of the Falcons. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Meserve Field as the Falcons take on the Zips from Akron. Currently, the Bowling Green Falcons lead 4-0 at the top of the 6th. First pitch launched straight up and back right on over the press box, and that was by batter number 26, Hannah Gertrell. So she gets set up once again for the second pitch. Just barely outside, going a little bit too low there. 1-1. Straight down the center, just tipped away down the first base side, 1-2. There's a pitch, kind of curves out, catches her swinging, had to reach for that one. Strike 3, and you're out. Out number 1. So now setting up to bat for the Zips, number 4, Shelby Fortune. Of course, we saw Shelby Fortune come into the game last inning off of a drop from the previous left fielder, Carly Otten. So, first pitch straight down the center like you want. Strike 1. Little high. 1-1 is the count, but I mean, she's thrown 87 pitches today. Of course, you still have that full bullpen from the Falcons. But it looks like she's going to go for the entire game, gets a curve, and gets her to reach. 1-2. Pot fly into left field. Running for it. There's McNulty once again. McNulty making a lot of the plays for the Falcons today to keep them ahead. 2 outs.
Now batting is the shortstop number 14, Sam Malik.
Number 14, Sam Malik, coming up now. Tries to get a hold of that one, hits the top of the bat, and it goes back on over where we're sitting. 0-1. Set up straight down the center, once again going just out. Over to the right side this time, 0-2. 2 strikes, 2 outs for the Falcons as they look to close this one off. Sends it out, but they're going to call it just outside that right side, ball 1. Not exactly what you want here, but they send it back anyways, and there's strike number 3. 1-2-3 inning for the Falcons as they close out the side, lead 4-0 as we move into the bottom of the 6th.
We have 3 down. We move to the bottom of the 6th, and the Falcons still lead 4-0 over Akron.
Welcome back to Meserve Field here in Bowling Green, Ohio, where the BG Falcons take on the Zips from Akron. Currently at the bottom of the 6th, Falcons lead 4-0. Up at the plate, gets set up for the pitch. Strike 1 called on Nicky Sorgi.
Leading off for the Falcons, this is first baseman number 00, Nicky Sorge.
Here comes second one, just a little high and out to the right. 1-1. That one being grounded out into the right side, ball 2. Same thing with that one, just a little bit more up. 3-1 is the count. Comes the next pitch. Straight down the center, strike 2. Full count. And she's going to get punched out. Out number 1 for the Falcons. So coming up now for the Falcons, number 13, Sarah Gonzalez.
Next up for the Falcons, it's third baseman, number 13, Sarah Gonzalez.
Straight on up, follows the first base line, but decides to go on out. Another lucky fan gonna get another souvenir softball. They've got a lot of these. Just a little high there as it kind of curved up right at the end. Gonna be ball number 1, count 1-1. Strike 2 called. Just off that left side, right inside. High and in the corner, 2-2. Of course, Petrov looking to close this out here with the 2-2 count. Sends it down the center like she wanted, but of course, number 13, Gonzalez, able to just hold on to it a little bit there. Continues with the 2-2 count. That's what you need if you're the Falcons, trying to work with whatever you can to try to get your player on to first. And they're going to call that just a little low, full count. Looked like a sinker there, just sunk a little too early though. Of course, Petrov understanding that the fastballs aren't really working well for the Zips today. Time was called before that pitch, so we'll get another shot here. Full count still, like I was saying though, Petrov, of course, not knowing that the fastball straight down the center not working, trying to get some change-ups, some curves in there. Just having a little bit of trouble figuring it out as she goes. And there's a fastball right down the center, going to bounce in center field. Holds on at first. So Sarah Gonzalez sees first base now as number 3, Marley McNulty, is up to bat.
It's the left fielder, number 3, Marley McNulty.
So Petrov waiting for the sign. Sends it off a wild pitch, almost hitting McNulty. So ball number 1. So it's actually going to be called a foul off of a awkward swing by McNulty as she was trying to get out of the way. So 0-1. Sends it down and away. Strike 2. Same spot, but this time going to be called a ball. 1-2 is the count. 1 out. Runner on first. Sends up in the right corner, but just barely outside. 2-2. Seems to be a problem there. Looks like Gonzalez's finger just a little bit jammed up there from that pitch that came in. So she's going to be quickly looked at by the athletic trainer. Just get fixed up here. But while that's happening, we will take a break and be right back right here on WBGU. Welcome back to Meserve Field here in Bowling Green, Ohio, where the Falcons take on the Zips. In the bottom of the sixth, the Falcons lead 4-0.
Hitting then for the Falcons is number 18, Michaela Dees.
As coming in as the pinch hitter here now is number 18, Michaela Dees for the Falcons. Count stays at 2-2. 1 out, 1 runner on first. Just off that right barrier, gonna be called strike number 3. It's out number 2.
Back to the top of the lineup for Bowling Green. Here's center field, number 15, Greta Lesperon.
So now we move back up top. Number 15, Greta Lesperance. High pitch, ball number 1. Straight down the center, strike 1. 1-1, 2 outs. That one just barely outside down that right corner. Ball number 2. Just barely gets the bat on that one. Going to be fouled away, 2-2. It seems the ump has a problem with something. Going to talk with the pitcher. Finishes up his chat and comes right on back. Sends it down and away as they're trying to steal second. Slide just in time for Gonzalez as she'll get second base now. Foul tip into the Akron dugout. Sends her right on back after she makes it to first base. Count stays 2-2. Bottom of the sixth. 2 outs. Runner on second. Just outside, and that one will bring it up to a full count, 3-2. Line drive right into right field. Gets the single, so we have runners on first and third. There's now number 7, Sammy D, is going to come up. Have her try 2 outs, though.
Next up, here's second baseman, number 7, Sammy D.
Yeah, at least Freddie Falcon getting into the batting zone. As here comes pitch. Just inside. Strike 1. Sends it down almost the same spot, but going to be caught right in center field there by
runs on 2 hits, 2 runners remaining on base. At the end of 6 complete, it's
Mackie Mitchner. So we go into the 7th inning with the Falcons leading 4-0. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Meserve Field here in Bowling Green, Ohio, as your BGSU Falcons take on the Zips from Akron. Currently at the top of the 7th, the Falcons lead 4-0. Leadoff hitter for the Zips will be number 28, Caitlin Reynolds. So takes a couple steps back. Couple swings as the ump gets set. And here we go. Little high, ball number 1. Second pitch. This time going too low. 2-0 for the count. Like we said, Van Hodder trying to find what she wants for those curveballs. Still trying to work it out just a little bit here. Just barely out. 3-0. And there's ball number 4. So we see Reynolds go ahead and take first base. Now stepping up, number 25, Kelly McIntosh Holder will try her hand at it. Just a little low, ball 1. Set up for the second, sends it down. Strike 1 on the inside of the right side. 1-1 now. Just barely tipped away. So 1-2 is the count. No outs, runner on first. That one's still too low, 2-2. Currently, it looks like Van Natter is trying to get some backdoor curves going, but can't get it to rise in time by the time it hits the plate. As she just sends that one straight down center field, catch made by L'Esperance. So out number 1, and runner at first stays at first. Now for the Zips, number 1, Madison Carter coming up to try her chance here in the 7th. Thinks about the bunt, decides against it, instead gets a strike. Wild pitch. Catcher able to hold on to it. Looked like they got the tag over at second. Going to be called safe, though. So runner now advances to second. Sends it down in the dirt. 2-1. Of course, 7th inning, a little bit tired, trying to still figure out a couple of those pitches that she wants to throw. Throws you off your game just a little bit. Sends it up and in on that right corner. 3-1. As she gets set for the next pitch. And catches her swinging, full count. Goes down the center as the right fielder drops the ball. Can't pick it up, tries to get it down. Can't get it. Unfortunately, gets it to Nikki Sorgi at the end there. No error called, but a point for the Zips.
Now batting is the second baseman, number 2, Madison Dudek.
Number 2, Madison Dudek coming in. Foul tip off the first base. Gets it set again. This time a deep into left. There's the shortstop, McCoy, gonna pick that one up. 2 outs now. Falcons are 1 away.
Next up is the catcher, number 24, Laurel DeVoe.
As number 24, Laurel DeVoe, coming up now. Gets set. As second base going. Just barely safe off the slide. Oh and 1. Just counting 2 outs, runner on second. Down and inside, 1-1. Gets a good slider to go ahead right across the plate. Pulls it out, 1-2. With this pitch, Van Ader reaches 100 pitches for today. As a foul ball going to be called. Went right down that third base line. Decides to bounce at the last second. So 1-2 is the count. Nader sends it straight down the center, but loses control of it. Is the catcher. Two and 2 is going to be the count. Runner now on third. Straight up to center field. Picked up by the second baseman, Sammy Dees, which will end it for the Falcons. Second game, they get 4-0 over the Zips, continuing their win in the series over the Akron Zips. Of course, last night 5-4, earlier today 1-0, and now 4-1 over the Zips in today's game. Be sure to catch the softball team in their final game tomorrow at noon for the final game of the series against the Akron Zips. For myself and everybody here at the WBGU PBS broadcast, I'd like to thank you all for joining us and to have a good night. And Ziggy Zumba.